So you come to YouTube for advice on how you should dress. And there have got to be hundreds upon thousands of menswear advice channels telling you precisely how you should look without knowing 5 critical things about you. That's right, most if not all of these channels might be giving you terrible advice. And of course, I have a channel that makes men's fashion recommendations, but if you've followed me for a while, if you've subscribed, you know I'm very careful because I don't know enough about you to tell you precisely what you should wear. I share my experience, which is pretty deep, been doing this a long time. I'm still working, and I'm somebody that actually wears the stuff and walks the walk. So I'm going to dive in today to 5 things that you need to know, or someone should know, before telling you how you should dress. The first thing anyone should know before giving you any advice on what to wear or how to wear your clothes is, what are you trying to accomplish? Because if you want to come to me and you come to this channel, I'm assuming you're a professional and you're looking to step up your wardrobe game. And if you're in a client-facing, a sales role, you should not be doing certain things that are a distraction, and I've talked about this. Are you trying to have a better fit, feel more comfortable? You want to improve your style, be a little more sartorial. All of these are great goals. Anyone giving you advice, meaning selling you on how you should dress, needs to understand the answers to that question. What are you trying to accomplish? So I have an idea what you're trying to accomplish. Now my next question, it's very important. And these don't have to be necessarily in order, but I want to know what you do. I want to know what your profession is. I want to know exactly what your job is and what is expected of you. Because no matter what you wear, results matter more than anything. That's right, the profession matters, and I want to know exactly what you do so that I don't put you out on a limb with your clothing decisions. So you see where we're going? This is what sales is, and this is what's missing from so many YouTube channels that are giving you advice on what to wear, and even more importantly, how to spend your money. So number 3, the next question that's so important is, where do you live, and really, where do you work? Now, I live in South Texas. That is very relevant because it's super hot here most of the year. That's going to affect fabric decisions, even fit, what I wear, when I wear it. All of these things are important because somebody telling me, and this happens on these YouTube channels, that I need to really invest in a dark dinner jacket first. Every man needs this. No, I don't. And I don't need a tuxedo either. And that's part of what I do for a living and part of my environment. Those kinds of formal evening events are not a part of my life right now and won't ever be, probably.
For example, here I am in Puerto Rico, guys. It is summer, it's August, it's a heat index of 103 today, and I have business to do. Now I've got to wear something really light. So if somebody's going to give me advice on what to wear, it's important to know the environment, the climate I'm going to be in, and I've chosen an Inglés weave from Proper Cloth dress shirt and a boutique Italian odd jacket, a sport coat, plaid with some blue in it, light sky blue shirt, very lightweight, both breathable fabrics. This jacket is a wool cotton blend, unlined, right? Very simple but elegant sport coat that I bought off the rack, had tailored to my specific fit, and it's perfect for extremely warm weather and something someone should know about if they're going to recommend clothing, especially for business. They've got to know where you're going, where you're working, and I need things that are breathable in a non-tie but elegant setting that I can wear for business or evening wear and not have to pack too much.
So that's just me. I love tuxedos. I love formal events. But I live in a place and I also travel the country and I deal with a wide variety of geographies and different client financial levels. And that is very important to know based on how I dress and how I look in certain places. For example, I go to Central Arkansas next week for work. There are certain ways I can dress in California, like in Los Angeles, or New York or Chicago, that will look downright silly in Central Arkansas. And my company does not pay me to be the most fashionable guy in the room or to set some kind of unachievable standards for the clients I'm in front of, because they're not going to ever want to dress how maybe I like to dress personally. What's important is that I drive results and I close the deal. Or sometimes I have a problem to solve. The main focus of why I'm there is what my goal is, and I'm going to try to align that with the customer. And if what I'm wearing is out of place, then I'm a distraction and I'm not doing my job. So now we've got the environment. I know your profession. I know what you're trying to accomplish. And this could be the very first question. This could be the second one. But number 4 is body type. If you come to me, I'm going to take a look at your physique before I even think about telling you what you should wear. Fashion has a lot of trends. And unfortunately, and I'll say this, I don't like the skinny, overly slim fit that has been popular for what seems about 15 years. But as any trend, it's starting to go away. More full cut trousers, a little bit more better fitted, meaning a little more room in the suit jackets, really catching on. And that is very popular with some channels I've mentioned here that I love the cuts. I love the full cuts. They look fantastic. But I don't think those are for every body type. Let's talk about somebody who's a little overweight and maybe under 5'8", right? Maybe 5'6", 5'7", or shorter. First of all, we know skinny fit's not going to work. And if I know they're a salesperson, I know they want to be comfortable, they're moving around, they're in and out of the car a lot. Like me, they're flying a lot. Skinny fit's a terrible idea. It's never going to be comfortable for someone who might be a little overweight, maybe a stockier build, larger legs, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. You can look as good as anyone with the right fitting clothes. I also don't think a super full drape cut is good for somebody who's short. I'm actually certain of it. I don't think it looks good. And it's a matter of opinion, I think, as a rule, you don't want your jacket so long and so full in length that it makes your legs look short. Because there are rules. People say, well, the jacket should go down to this thumb knuckle or maybe even down to the fingertips. What if you're short with long arms? See, these are important things that people need to know before they tell you exactly how you should dress because rules and this looks good or this is classic. So I'm going to make a really important point here about classic dress. Some people define that as very full drape cut, and they say it's classic and timeless. I'm sorry, it's not timeless because it went out of style for a long time, and I love the look. I think it can look really well, really nice, but it's not for everyone, and the time and place matters. And the final question, so we're building a profile here. I'm understanding what is important to you, what are your priorities, and I'm getting ideas already that I know aren't going to scare you. They might push you a little bit. And that's part of the relationship, part of building trust, because I'm going to do a lot of listening. Too many of these channels are doing a lot of telling and not selling. So number 5, what are you wearing now? I may not see it. You may be writing me, but what are you wearing now? I know what you do. I know like what your profession is. I know your body type. We're talking about it. I know where you live. I've got the profile. I got an idea what you're trying to do. Now I need to know what you're wearing now. I think telling somebody who's used to a very skinny, slim fit, let's say you're very tall, you're very long and lean, like my son who's like 6'5", and he's got this just perfect lean body. He's a college athlete. He wears skinny fit. That's what younger guys like. And you're not, by the way, going to tell them any different, especially if you're just telling them how they should look. But I want my son and others to invest in a little more full look, but they're not going to be comfortable jumping to a full drape cut. And some of his friends who are a lot shorter, jumping to a full drape cut with full pleated slacks, and I mean, we're talking full, are going to look like they're wearing their dad's clothes when they were 11 years old. I love the guys. You probably know who I'm talking about. I love how they look. I love how the people they dress look in super full cut, but it's not for everyone, especially if it's a big leap from what you're wearing now. I know you're not going to probably be comfortable going from really skinny fit, high hem pants to a super full drape cut all in one move. Trust me, guys, I know what I'm talking about because the full drape cut, brace yourself, is never going to be the most popular way to dress, especially in the United States, ever again. I'm not happy about that. I think it's probably overall one of the best ways to wear a suit or wear tailored clothing. But I'm just telling you, especially in the US, we're more about function, less formality. We want things to be a little bit minimalist and simple. And what I do is try to elevate others and give them some ideas by how I dress, but I am never probably going to wear a full drape cut. And it's not because I don't like it. It's because I dress in a profession where that would maybe hinder my results. It could be that kind of distraction that is a problem, and I won't be comfortable if I feel like I'm in a distraction surrounded by clients who are dressed much differently. Now, of course, there are going to be people that say, why do you care? It's about how you feel. That's my personal life. And if I do have suits that have a different cut, more drape cut for my personal life, then I don't care. I'll go places, I'll wear how I want to wear, dress how I want to dress, because it's not going to cost me money. It's not going to impact what I do for a living. But I know this, and this is not a debate, guys. I'm telling you, if you let slip the importance of the results you need to drive and why you're doing what you're doing for the company you work for or the clients you're trying to get business from, you lose focus of that because you're worried about dressing a certain way, I hope I'm your competitor. So those 5 things are important, guys. Of course, I got chapters of this. You can jump around, review it. Anybody giving you fashion advice should know the deep answers to those 5 questions I posed today. And if you're daring like me to have a YouTube channel, then don't just tell people one thing and this is how you have to wear it because I like it, or it's because how men used to dress and we want this to be the same way again. Guys, we're never going to be in an era where men are wearing a suit and tie every day, everywhere. And frankly, I'm good with that. I think those times had some cool, neat things about it. It impresses me that we all had grandparents and great-grandparents that wore suits and ties all the time. But I'm not into it. It's too hot. Like right now in this studio of mine, my office, my shoe table, it's 98 degrees outside, heat index of 106. You're never going to see me in a tie on this show during the summer months here in South Texas. No way.
All right, guys, that's it to close the show. Thanks for tuning into this episode. I hope this has helped you understand what someone needs to know before giving you any fashion advice, or what you should know before giving anyone else specific advice on what to wear. This has been a fun one to do. I'll keep talking about this in the podcast. Share your examples down below in the comments. I really appreciate it. And of course, thanks for staying for this part of the show. Like, subscribe, put on your alerts, and as always, stay prime.